6 p.m. meeting, we'll call the order, roll call please.
Councilmember Scott,
Present.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Here.
Councilmember Pinello,
Here.
Councilmember Lane,
Here.
Councilmember Thompson,
Here.
Councilmember Carpenter recorded absent, Councilmember Beckwith,
Present.
Councilmember Michaels.
Present.
We're gonna rise for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're doing something else first, sorry. We're gonna a moment of reflection first. Pastor Matthew Smith, I've asked him to come up. He's from our local Faith Baptist Church. He's been, I don't ever think he ages. I've known him since, went out to my county legislative days in 2002. And he was the chaplain for I think he just got here then and was a chaplain for the sheriff's department, still helps out, and been the city chaplain for the city police agency for the last 10 here. And he's about spiritual engagement with our police officers, which we really appreciate, as well as the community. I see him at all the events, and at the big events, which hopefully maybe touch on that a little bit. That experience you had there, that was a great experience that he brought his parish out, and they came out and worked at the big event. And saw him with the No Health Walk today as well. It's always great to see it. So, Dr. Smith.
It's great to be here. I want to thank Mayor Steve for inviting me this evening, and I want to thank each one of you for publicly serving the citizens of Cortland. Your job is not an easy one and extremely important at the same time. I have had the privilege of ministering over at Faith here in Cortland for the last 25 years. And our vision as a church is to passionately and positively impact our community for Jesus so that each person can experience life and God to the fullest. And we love opportunities to do this in practical ways. And Mayor Steve asked me to share a little briefly a part of our story, which hopefully will warm your hearts. Recently, SUNY Cortland held their big event. And for several years, we partnered together with them in the city for community cleanup. And we always enjoy the opportunity to connect in meaningful ways with SUNY students and others in our community. So on this day, in place of our regular services, we normally encourage our people, rather than just go to church, to be the church. We get out in the community. And here's what we discovered is that what may seem like a small act of kindness to you and me can make a big difference in the lives of people. And this year was no different. When we arrived at our first destination there on Lebanon Drive, we found an elderly woman a couple houses down waving her hands toward us. And she was asking if we were there to help her. Her house wasn't our assigned project, but we assured her that once we completed our first house that we would go and assist her as well. And so at the first home, we were able to get to know an elderly woman there. She was a caregiver for a gentleman with some severe health issues. And after we had finished cleaning up her yard, I was able to pray with her, and with tears in her eyes, she expressed how through this simple act of kindness, she felt God was saying thank you to her for her years of sacrifice and caregiving to this other man. We then went over to the yard of the first woman we met, and she had a much larger yard filled with leaves and sticks, and the group set to work with many hands, including SUNY students, Dan and Angel. And we were quickly able to clean it all up. And after we were done, this woman came out and again with tears in her eyes expressed, this is a quote, "This was truly a big event." And all of us, so we just walked away with our hearts full, knowing that just such simple acts of kindness can truly make a big difference. As you already know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it was great to be there today. Record turnout for the Mental Health Awareness Walk, and that was fantastic. Great weather as well. Mental health impacts so many of the issues that we face as a community, including addiction, suicide, houselessness, poverty. May is also a month of remembrance for our military as well as law enforcement. Next week is National Police Week, set aside to recognize the great service of law enforcement professionals as they provide to serve and protect our community. And recently I was part of the city police detail to honor Syracuse officers Michael Jensen and Onondaga County Sheriff's Deputy Lieutenant Michael Husak. As chaplain for the city police department for over the last 10 years, I've had the privilege and opportunity to ride along almost weekly, rub shoulders with on a regular basis with the fine men and women of our department who daily put their lives on the line for us. And I think we can be very thankful, very proud of our police leading the way. They were mentioned several times today at the mental health event, and placing an emphasis on mental health training, responding in appropriate ways to various serious calls. And I've seen out there them in action multiple times, de-escalating situations and saving lives. The prophet Jeremiah said, "Seek the welfare of the city where I've sent you. Pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare." So I invite you to join me in prayer as we pray for our city. Almighty God, we humbly gather before you and we do pray for the welfare of Cortland. I thank you for Mayor Steve and the Common Council. Lord, I ask that you would guide them as they seek to make Cortland a great place to live, to work, to raise families. Grant them wisdom to find solutions to many complex issues and to direct our city. Father, we are grateful for the tireless efforts of our mental health workers who raise awareness, provide vital support to those grappling with many life's challenges. Thank you for their dedication and compassion as they work diligently to shine a light on the importance of mental well-being and to offer comfort and care to those in need. We pray that their advocacy and outreach efforts would reach those who feel isolated or forgotten, and that you would surround them with a network of support and encouragement. We pray for those struggling with mental health that they may find healing. May those bound by addictions find freedom. May those facing poverty, houselessness, obtain not only basic needs of food, water, clothing, and shelter, but also community. May those struggling with suicidal thoughts discover hope and peace. We also pray for the brave men and women of the Cortland Police Department. Thank you for their professionalism and dedication, and their service and sacrifice. Give them strength and courage as they uphold justice and peace within our community. Bless them and their families. Grant them incredible resilience to deal with the trauma that they witness and experience daily. Bring them home safely at the end of each shift. And may they know how much we appreciate and respect them. We also remember those who have given the ultimate sacrifice of their lives on our behalf, either in the line of duty as law enforcement officers or as soldiers in the military. May we never forget that freedom is not free and that has been bought with the blood of these heroes. And together, let us join our hearts and hands, supporting one another with empathy and compassion. May we strive to break down barriers, foster understanding, and build a community where all are valued and supported. And we offer this prayer with faith and hope, trusting in your boundless love and compassion, demonstrated in Jesus Christ. And in his name we pray.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, we appreciate everything you do. Thank you. Okay, on to privilege of the floor, Dr. Poulin.
I'll remind people that you have 3 minutes, and when you hear the timer go off, that'll be your cue to finish up your thoughts.
Good evening. I am Pam Poland. I'm a professor emeritus from Johns Hopkins University who has retired to this wonderful location. At a forum last Thursday, May 2nd, entitled Finding Solutions for the Unhoused, held at Court Union on the SUNY Cortland campus, a 2-hour meeting for which about 50 community people stayed the entire time. Mayor Scott Steve spoke feelingly about himself being homeless while in high school and spoke with compassion to the unhoused. The 12 unhoused said that this was the first time they as a group had the opportunity to speak. All said that the most urgent need was for the houseless is for a place to live, including 24/7 transitional housing, apartments, and in the meantime, a nighttime center for the unhoused, such as the nighttime center at the Salvation Army, which is empty now for 6 months and whose employees continue to be employed there over the summer. Also mentioned was Horizon House on Grant Street, owned by the county, being rented by Catholic Charities for a few social workers who will be out on the street 90% of the time, serving 3 counties, which also has a large, not being used space that was used this past winter as nighttime warming center for the unhoused. Other spaces used there in the past include church sanctuaries, the Reverend Bill Greer at Grace Church, for an example. 5 motels here provide inadequate housing for the unhoused, starting at a low of $2,500. Yet these are infested with bedbugs, cockroaches, unusable toilets, no heat, no hot water for showers, to name a few problems. The mayor mentioned to me it was possible for him to address these dire situations with motel owners directly by using his speed dial. Other problems include lack of food, no lockers in which to leave one's possessions, steel-toed shoes for construction work, and professional clothing, all needed for job interviews, to name a few. I believe that all look forward to more meetings in the future between groups of the unhoused, government and officials, leaders of helping agencies, and the community in order to effect change by hearing directly from the houseless of their ideas, solutions, and problems. Among the many letters of support and encouragement I received, one such reads, "Thank you for setting up this forum. It was very enlightening for me. I was surprised how this homeless situation affected me. I would like to talk to you about a possible source of donations. Thank you very much, Common Council." Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I didn't hear the ringer. You beat the clock.
Thank you.
Oh, I got 2 more seconds, excuse me.
Ms. Boardwalk, please.
I probably won't need it. I'm a teacher. Hi. Yes, so that. Oh, so it can be recorded. Okay, all right, great. I'm Mary Bordeaux. I live on Excelsior Street, and I spoke with you a little bit last time and sent you a copy of our trash and recycling program information that we were given at our last meeting. And I'm assuming at our next few meetings, we're going to start reading it and going over it. And if you have any questions as you peruse it, feel free to get a hold of any one of us about it. I also mentioned the bricks that are paved this way. And I was going from Sean Bowler to the Chinese restaurant, and I came across bricks that had already fallen in. And that's only been done since last fall. So it's less than a year. And I sent you pictures, and I'm not good with my phone, but there's one, in this one, there's 5 or 6 bricks that have fallen down below level. And this one is around a tree or a plant where the bricks right in this area have fallen down also. And then I walked across to the savings bank, and here's a brand new piece of cement that's holding the light in, and broken. And we can't be responsible for it because that would, take away responsibility from the people who put it in, and they should be repairing it. And if it's 9 months, and we're gonna have this on Main Street, that's where I foresee the problem. So, with what you made, it's there. I wanted to ask about mowing grass, and I don't know who can answer this for me, but if a house has like an X on it or a square on it, who's responsible for that? Are those taken over by banks, and so the bank, who's responsible for that? I walked down to, I call it Tucci Bakery at the corner of South Franklin, and I mow that 20 times a summer because it's never done, and I think it looks terrible. And the new owners of the East Side Bakery hasn't bought a lawnmower yet. And I went down and mowed some of his lawn over the weekend myself too. And I do that. That's one of the things I do besides bushes, and I've done a lot at Dexter Park, etc. And so I just that's my question. Who is responsible for those? There's a house with a big white square on Garfield Street, and it's easily 2 feet high. Rats and like, whatever. So I would be interested in finding out, who is responsible for that and if I can call somebody or whatever. And the last thing, and this lady here just made my mind go, but, I know there's hemming and hawing about Parker School and Virgil and whatever, but I've lived near Pomeroy School for 70 years. And when the city, gave it up and it wasn't a school anymore, I was as mad as anybody else, but I'll tell you, that place is kept up beautifully. The lawn is immaculate. The lighting, you can walk there in the dark and walk along Pomeroy and then Elm, and the lighting's terrific. The parking, there's tons of parking. People have their own areas of storage. And I have never seen a police car there. And like I said, I've been in my current house for 32 years and I lived on East Garfield for the, 30 before that. Wonderfully kept place. And I really would like, I think the people who live near Parker and Virgil need to pay attention to what's happened at Pomeroy School. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, there's nobody else. Yep, thank you. Thank you for doing that. So to answer the question real quick about the red properties, there's various answers to that. Some are the property owners, or the bank withholders, and some of them we actually send people out, but if they're not maintained in that period of time, then we send somebody there.
And we don't personally pay for it. We do up front, but it goes on, it gets leaned on the property.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then
No, your taxes don't pay for it.
right, but I would get a hold of you if it's our.
The code office.
Code officer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, they do
We have a
that.
contract with an individual, goes around, mows the delinquent houses and
I believe Roy Everett's gonna give you the card.
yeah, that's right.
And
we're looking for contractors every year too, so if you wanna.
I'm 71 years old and I've had back surgery. I'll do my own and then a few others. That's about it.
Thank you for helping out.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
all right, thank you. Okay, proclamations. Proclamation 1 is, declaring May 11th, 2024 as IAFF Local 2737 Boot Day Drive.
Resolved that I, Scott Steve, Mayor of the City of Cortland, do hereby proclaim May 11, 2024 as MDA IAFF Local 2737 Boot Drive Day in the City of Cortland. I urge citizens to learn more about muscular dystrophy through news media coverage or by calling their local MDA office for more information.
So we thank the union for setting this up, and they'll be out on the 11th doing their drive. Appreciate them putting action back into our community. Very good to have the unions do that in our community. Finance reports. Did everybody get a copy of the finance reports? Or
Yeah.
questions? Okay, you can receive and file those. Mayor's report. So a lot going on this month, a lot going on this time of year for everybody. college is graduating this weekend, so we got excitement there. Last night I was able to work at my first moonlight breakfast. And we served over 600 students last night at a late time period in through the night to give them a break while they're out doing that. So President Bitterbaum and myself and a bunch of staff members were out there serving eggs and pancakes, and they can't call them tater tots, you gotta call them something else. That was a big.
Fake taters.
Yeah, well, they're round. So it was a great experience. It's great to see the kids. They're very polite, they're great people, and it's just so sad to see some of those seniors going and graduating, but hopefully some will stay here. But there was over 600. That was great. The mental health walk today was 300 persons. That was a great turnout and a beautiful day to do it. We walked over from Parker School. We started at Parker School, which is a great place to have that. That worked out very well. They were able to get up on the stage and make their announcements. It was pretty great. And they gave a good tribute to our police officers who do our direct line of mental health preventers. And we do appreciate that effort that they're doing every day, as well as the hospital and all the mental health employees. You know, this time of year, at the end of the month, I'll be sending a dinner over to the mental health workers there, as a thank you for them, for a luncheon for them to have during their part. We passed Earth Day. McNeil Insurance Company had 40 employees out. They did some painting at the Armory. You'll see some of that painting, which elaborates to the blue doors that don't necessarily look matching well, but it made a huge difference. Plus, they picked up a lot of trash, several truckloads of trash around the other areas that was even missed on Earth Day from the big event, which there was a lot of trash. Personally, I worked in the back parking lot by the Hollywood there. We cleaned up a lot back in there as well. We had a corn dog derby, which participated in this weekend. Little League opening day was this weekend. So we got a lot of things happening in the past. Last week, Doug's Fish Fry won the National Rural Small Business Award. That was a great thing for them. They're a great treasure here. Ironically, ran into a person that their daughter graduated from SUNY Cortland, and that was their place to go. So that's great to have that. And as well as the community got the New York State, Dr. Kellis, who sent their application in to be the National New York State Historic Business Preservation Award. So that was a great honor for them. Great stories there, and hopefully that continues on. As discussed by Dr. Pullen earlier, homeless discussion at the college, ongoing homeless meetings continuously with the county and other providers, and even some development on some property using some grant monies to build a facility to help do that. Police officer Memorial Day Peace Officer Memorial Day is next Wednesday, as well as police department this week. I'd like to give a recognition to our police department. We had quite a busy weekend. They had, I think it started on Friday, 2 motorcycles were stolen. And, I happened to be in the PD when one of the people were making their statement. And this young gentleman, this was a big deal. His motorcycle was what he had. And it meant a lot to him. And the officer assured him that they would work hard at doing that. And Officer Lawrence, and she was very assured to him. And I said, that's tough to do, but they don't always get to see those. And he was like, well, and she said, well, it wasn't sure. I felt bad, but in the end, he's like, well, it's still not the same. So good news within 24 hours, they were able to get his motorcycle back.
Yay.
And they were able to break up a ring in Groton that was chopping motorcycles, and they had the ignition out of them. So they were able to get them by that point. So that's ongoing and still arrest being done. As well as the following day on Saturday, there was an older gentleman that stopped on Wheeler in Mr. Scott's district to look at a piece of shelving that was there, and he was going to disassemble. And he was an older gentleman who was approached by a pedestrian who said that he had a nice car and basically, pushed him aside, got in the car and stole it. So then they caught him in Norwich, which was good news, and he was apprehended with drugs and were able to get his car back, which he was returned today. So that's good news. Again, great detective work to get that out there, get that information out within 15 minutes of getting that information out. They spotted the car and pursued with a high-speed chase in Norwich. And also this weekend, our, fire department did a wonderful thing that typically is something they don't necessarily get, was an arson case at the college with the, college PD handled that together. And, two of our officers that are trained in that, played good cop, bad cop. I don't know if I could say that, but, they played good cop, bad cop, and were able to get the confession and get everything they needed from the person on that. So again, that's something that doesn't happen out of the ordinary, and we appreciate their efforts. You know, we can talk about those officers at a later date. So, those are all good things that have happened. I was able to also attend, the fire burns that they had at the academy, the CR2 recruits, there, and got to watch them struggle with the door a little bit, trying to break in. That'll be an ongoing joke, maybe later when he gets, used to it a little bit. But that was great. And then, on the way back from the academy, you know, we were challenged with a 4D phone, with a power outage for the fire department. So, just got to talk more about the advantages to that, but, we ended up having to go in and respond as we were coming back. Construction continues on Main and Groton. Monday starts the big demo on, Main Street to tear up the sidewalks and the roads. So that's gonna be pretty intense, so hang on to your hats and your phones. Groton Ave is proceeding pretty quickly. I'm pretty happy with what they're getting done over there, and Port Street as well. I think they told me today they got 119 feet to go, and that drainage will be done up to there. So if nothing's in their way by the end of this week, we should be in good shape to get that done and we get the street hosed down and cleaned up. I think that's enough, and I think we covered everything. We've been a lot going on, so
Yeah.
with that, we'll go to the award reports. Mr. Scott.
So it's been a while since the last award report, so it's gonna take a minute. First of all, I want to thank Code for, getting the contractor in, getting some cleanup done on a house that was, taken over by the city over on Woodland. It was found structurally unsound and the outside was in, it wouldn't have been safe to have kids walking around that yard. It is now safe. I stopped over, watched the contractor as he finished up. Absolutely wonderful. So I want to thank Code and the contractor for getting that done. Corn Duck Derby, that was a lot of fun. The mayor and I ran into each other over there. It was just a great time. Awesome to see the community come out. You know, everybody's, oh, my duck's gonna win, but you know, after the whole duck thing's over and even prior to, it's a lot of community interaction. There's some great booths and things, but what I really found is I saw a lot of friends and neighbors being friends and neighbors, and that felt good. I think it's a great event. I had a really good time watching people enjoy themselves. So Montour Falls, went down there, we checked out the fire department. And there will be an ongoing joke with a trainee for the rest of his foreseeable career in Cortland about not opening a door. I did learn a lot, getting to observe a structure that is, I mean, the Cortlandville structure is beautiful that we train at, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but this structure is unbelievable. These guys get real, breaking into, you know, putting out, assessing, finding people, search and rescue, evaluation experience in a building that is built like buildings they will go into. It has features all over it that are just like what they're gonna run into, including replaceable boards, and we do have this in Cortlandville, on the back wall where they actually have to vent a wall by breaking through the boards and allowing the airflow. Instructors are intense. I think I heard walk with a purpose, move with a purpose, get it right, probably 4 or 5 times each, and we weren't there very long. Great to see the amount of training that our firefighters get. It is intense. There's a reason that Portland does a good job, because they take it very, very seriously when they go there, and the training shows when they get here. On top of that, on the way back, let's talk about some of our training. 4 alarms deep, right, chief? We hit the Cortlandville line, the lights went on, the siren went on. I was like a kid in a candy store riding shotgun going, but then the fun was over when we realized there wasn't 1, there wasn't 2, there wasn't 3, there was 4 calls. Most of it due to a brownout. But what we found when we got on scene, I was very proud of, because I do have interaction with Code through their relation to the fire. And I know that there are some people out there that say they ought to be completely independent. And I'm going to tell you why it shouldn't be. We had our entire Code department out there suited up, everything from directing traffic to doing building inspections in Taco Bell. And that is why we have them as a crossover, because when we do get a 4 alarm, we can put enough boots on the street to start handling things until somebody could get here to help us, had they all been live fires. Thank goodness they weren't. It was a brownout, but it was wonderful to see by the time we had left the line at Cortlandville and got to Taco Bell, all secured, all done, everything was fine. And the only people I saw on that site were code, and they had it handled. Roy was a block or two up the street directing traffic. We had police out, but it was just wonderful to see how quickly this all came about. And then to listen to the conversations that we got to be privy to in the car, the mayor was with us as well. The communication, the professionalism, and the way that our fire department handles what I would consider an emergency situation when we got 4 spots to be at one time was outstanding. So very, very happy to be working with them again as their liaison, and very fortunate to go see just how good they are. And I think, other than a few raised sidewalks that we're working on marking and getting people funding for in the ward, that's about it.
Thank you. Ms. Sullivan.
In the merry month of May, it's been very festive in Ward 2. Pretty soon it's gonna quiet down though, as graduation is this weekend. I've had some help from the codes department with a house on North Main that a local contractor installed. It was a vacant property, and he's not doing much with it, and so codes is going to incentivize him, and I appreciate that. The neighbors do too. And that's about it for me.
Way to say that. Just now.
Okay, so just a couple of things. Obviously, the residents of the 3rd Ward completely understand with the detours with Broughton Ave that there are going to be more cars on like Helen Ave, Floral Ave, and Woodruff. But I got a call from a Helen Ave resident concerned about the speeding. So I contacted Chief Sandy, and there is now the city police speed monitor there to kind of monitor how fast people are going. So that was good. They were very appreciative. And along with that, people were asking, how do I get from, Bellwood and Forest downtown? So it's just Helen Ave, Floral Ave, Woodruff to Madison to Main Street. I mean, there's easy ways to get downtown during this time of construction, and it's just short term. Lastly, I got a call and emails and variety of things, and the mayor knows, from a resident on Belrose. And they have had problems, it was February of 2023, and then just last month, with the main sewer line from the street backing up into their home, due to a no flow, according to plumbers. So raw sewage was coming from the main sewer line in the middle of the street into their basement. They're not looking to be reimbursed. That's not the issue. They just want the city to really look at this issue and resolve the problem so it doesn't continue to happen. A city DPW worker showed up that day, it was a Saturday, and said he had been out on other calls within the city for the same problem. Fire department came and shut off power to the basement as a precaution because of the significant leakage. And a plumber was there and had to enter the house to flush the line in the house. So the homeowner just said, we can't continue to have raw sewage flowing into our basement. And it's not just Belrose, but again, that was the concern for me. So I know we're working on it, and it's not over yet. So anyway, but I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lang.
Yes, sir. Today is Teacher Appreciation Day. So for those of us who are still, well, thank you. Those of us who taught in the past and in the past, everything begins with teachers. Pardon me?
You can say that again.
Everything begins with teachers.
You lost your
I was
voice.
just gonna say.
Teachers as well.
That's right. I could do my gym voice, but I won't. I think we all received a letter from a young woman, Ashley, concerning childcare. Her story is amazing. I actually had her in school and her brother. The things that this young woman has had to do to improve her life and to get childcare is just simply amazing. And I'd like to find out more about the childcare problem in the city. The city garbage cans are being multi-used. On my way down here tonight, there was a college house that was using their 2 garbage cans for their platform for beer pong. So you can use, yes,
Yeah.
you can use those garbage cans. for anything. I thought so too.
Were they 4 feet apart?
No. No. Is that the rule?
That's.
Oh, okay. I've never played big pong, beer pong, I don't know.
That's how they're supposed to be on the curb, 4 feet apart.
Oh,
There's a video.
no, they were right.
There's instructions. on
They
it.
were right close together. I attended the forum on the houseless. And Ward 4 is quiet.
Thank you, Ms. Lane. Mr. Thompson.
There's a big theme of just questions, folks, you know, it's spring is in the air. People are asking questions about improvements and things around the neighborhood. Building questions around tree planting, drainage, the sidewalk program, and codes questions. So I think it's, that theme is right for springtime, and folks looking to make some improvements, so been building those and responding.
Thank you. Mr. Beckett.
Real quick, just touch on what Scott talked about with the Earth Cleanup Day. I'd really like to thank Trish for putting that program together. They have quite a few volunteers. I know personally, my daughter and daughter-in-law both work for McNeil. My daughter-in-law, she was on a cleanup crew and they picked up over 15 bags on Topping Street in Fort Watson. And, it was just, they had a good turnout, and they had to put up a lot too. They found a lot of needles and everything else, but I really like to thank Trish. She went all out.
She did.
And I think they're gonna continue. And I think next year they are gonna involve a lot, get a lot more people involved, and she wanted to start out slow.
She's a very organized person.
Yeah. And she honored us, but I should say we got it done. Unfortunately, I couldn't help, but she did a great job.
Last name Sherman.
Yes,
My niece.
yes,
Okay.
I know that.
Oh, okay, I didn't know her last name was Sherman, because you called me Chris, so I didn't know if you knew.
But yeah, she did, it was a great, it's good to get people together, and I do know, like I said, that McNeil, they've offered that anybody wanting to help is, McNeil obviously still paid for the day, so that's good for the community.
Yeah.
Wasn't like they did volunteer, but they got paid for it, but still, I think they would have volunteered anyway.
Yeah, they provided lunch and t-shirts, and they did a good job, but
Yeah.
she's super organized and she's got bigger plans for next year, so
Yeah,
hang on,
That was-
we'll fix some bricks before we know
Good. No, they don't take away our liability, they don't get us.
Perfect.
that's all I have.
it. All right, thank you. Mr. Michael.
Just 2 issues regarding the H ward. One was a code issue that they promptly addressed, and I want to thank all those involved for handling that. And I'm also following up on 2 dog-related issues. I don't have anything to add at this point, but certainly following up to see how this is going to shake out regarding number of dogs and whether they're licensed or not. And I won't get into the 3rd issue that evolved around 3 AM last night. I'll hold off on that one. And that's all I have. Thank you.
If you're here, Nestor, I'm glad. Thank you. All right, thank you. So approval of minutes. Anybody have any questions to receive the minutes?
Oh,
There is one correction, one council member was recorded both present and absent. I'll fix that.
Okay.
and
So which was it?
Yeah, they were absent.
I know, I just.
And where you said that I had read a letter. When I read my letter, and it had Katie's name at the, like, not mine, just Katie had done hers and then. So,
Correct. Just typo that's
yeah,
documentation.
yeah.
Thank you for catching that and make it, we'll put those edits. Can we get a motion to approve?
Do you need to know where it's at?
you know,
What's
You
that?
know, I was under a sink.
Oh, that's right.
What?
I didn't know that till after. Yeah, we're gonna put that in there. We had some plumbing issues here. But not as the script is missing.
No.
We'll build that one.
I would like to hear the rest of that story. or something.
Second by Mr. Beckwith. Mr. Scott, Mr. Beckwith, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. A resolution, agenda item number 1, home rule message requesting the New York State Legislature to amend the tax law in relation to authorizing the city of Portland to establish hotel and motel taxes by adoption of Assembly Bill A.10014 and Senate Bill S.09.175.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council hereby requests the New York State Legislature enact Assembly Bill 10014 and Senate Bill 09175 titled an act to amend the tax law in relation to authorizing the city of Portland to establish hotel and motel taxes, which authorizes the city to adopt a local law to implement and renew the hotel and motel tax rate at a rate up to 3% of the per diem rental rate for each room. And be it further resolved that the city clerk is hereby directed to forward copies of this resolution with a New York State legislative home rule request form to the city of Portland State Legislative Representatives, Assembly Member Dr. Anna Kellis and Senator Leah Webb.
I'll second.
Ms. Lane, Ms. Pinello, just recognize this has to be a majority vote, super majority vote, two-thirds vote to make it pass. Anybody have any questions? Discuss this one a couple of times.
I'm gonna point it out again, it's just, I don't know what we're gonna do about it, we can't do anything about it, I'm worried about price gouging.
Yeah, I was,
That's my only concern about it, I think it's rightfully so that they should, pay this tax, why not the county and everybody else does it, but I just don't want them to, because I think it's already happening here, and then we don't even have this.
I would agree.
funny, I had this conversation yesterday with the AD from TC3, I was at the TC3 baseball game yesterday watching, and we had this same exact conversation, and, he was elaborating about his events of traveling with his children, lacrosse and doing soccer, and other sports. And how some places, they'll get $600 during that time period when they can, but they can't get that all year long. So, I think, what I hope that happens with that is that other hotels see that and want to come to the area, and then we can get that to happen. But certainly, it's something we want to keep an eye on, but, this is all percentage based, so.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there, everything's happening, and I don't know, if it needs to go higher level with this, but I think it needs to be monitored.
Keep an eye on it, but I think hopefully it levels out. This year, we got another hotel in the mix, so hopefully that'll work out well. All right, anybody else? Vote please.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello,
Aye.
Councilmember Lane,
Hi,
Councilmember Thompson,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith,
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 2, approve parade permit for the CNY Mustang Club Cruise Night Car Show, May 19th, 2024.
Resolved that the common council does hereby approve a parade permit for the Central New York Mustang Club Cruise Night Car Show to proceed along Port Watson Street and Tompkins Street at approximately 2:15 to 2:45 PM on May 19th, 2024.
Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Thompson. So it's probably the only streets that aren't tore up, so we can get it.
Well, maybe they'll be done by the time they're done.
We got a couple weeks.
That's right.
Melt the blacktop.
All right, anybody have any questions? Hold it, please, sorry.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
hi.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 3.
I think motion to 2, 3, and 4, we group them together, because it's all approval for selling. Item 2, 3, and 4,
3,
or 3, 4, and 5.
yeah, I'll just, if that's okay. It won't be-
Yeah.
Well, I'm not worried about the time, I'm just, it's all the same thing. so.
Yeah. Kind of is, but, we're all.
Yeah.
Agenda item number 3, approve special event and related permits for St. Anthony's Day and Festival to be held at 50 Pomeroy on June 8th and 9th, 2024.
Resolved that the common council does hereby approve a special event permit, an application for street closing, a sound device permit without fee, and an operating permit for the St. Anthony's Day Festival to be held 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., June 8, 2024, and 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., June 9, 2024.
I'll move it.
Ms. Pinello, Ms. Silliman, any questions? Great event. Move it. Vote, please.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello,
Aye.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith,
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 4, approve special event and sound device permit for YMCA 5K Viking Run starting and ending near Courthouse Park on June 15th, 2024.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council does hereby approve for issuance by the city clerk a special event permit and sound device permit without fee for the YMCA Viking 5K Run to be held from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on June 15th, 2024.
So moved.
Silliman, Mr. Scott, any
You
questions?
said Sugget Park or Courthouse Park?
Courthouse Park.
In the documentation, it says Sugget Park.
Hmm.
Should we correct that?
Yes.
Yeah, in the text here, it does say, Sugget, but it is, when you refer to the map, they are beginning and ending near Courthouse Park. So I, made a mistake in that opening whereas.
It happened.
So
It does.
with that amendment, we're still good with the motion in the second.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Move it, please.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello,
Aye.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith,
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 5, approve special event and related permits for Portland LGBTQ Center's Portland Pride Festival to be held in Courthouse Park on July 13th, 2024.
Resolved that the common council does hereby approve a special event permit and a sound device permit without fee for the Portland LGBTQ Center's Portland Pride Festival to be held in Courthouse Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on July 13th, 2024.
I so move.
Ms. Lane, Ms. Silliman, any questions? Take a look, please.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello,
Aye.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 6, authorized agreement with New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Services for the Maple Ave Culvert Upgrade Project.
Resolved that Mayor Steve is hereby authorized to sign the state of New York contract for grants, including all attachments and appendices not to exceed $2,180,160.
I'll move it.
Now, Ms. Solomon, so again, this is an upgrade to that water services and upgrade in that park and that culvert.
Yeah.
And we'll get that press release out, but it's all good news for the second one, for sure. Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello,
Aye.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith,
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 7, declare police vehicles as surplus and send to auction.
Resolved that the common council hereby declares the 2 police vehicles listed below as surplus and grants permission for the agency to sell the vehicles and 3 motorized bicycles on Auction International, with any proceeds from the sale being placed in the Cortland City Police Department's 2024 budget account for operating equipment to be used for the purchase of new police vehicles and or equipment. A 2017 Chevrolet Equinox and a 2018 Chevrolet Tahoe Police Pursuit Mode.
Mr. Scott, Ms. Sullivan. So related to police agency, McGraw's looking to put a police agency in, and they're looking for a car. So one of our Tahoes I held back as a possibility of working that out. So if something looks out, I'll come back to you and try to negotiate something with them. If they decide to do something with it, they're working on it currently. Probably not public knowledge, but,
It is now.
it is. And the other, vehicle will be used for the dog enforcement officer. We have another Underwood vehicle. Okay,
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
agenda item number 8, appropriate annual Cortland City Police bike sale proceeds.
Resolved that the City of Portland Common Council does hereby authorize the Portland City Police Department to conduct the sale of unclaimed bicycles and affirms the funds from the above noted sales will be allocated to the Waterworks Steer Fund.
I'll move.
Mr. Scott, Mr. Thompson, any questions? And roll it, please.
A lot of money to beat a deer.
Councilmember Scott.
Aye.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Okay, last thing for discussion, I gave you a document, just an update on Parker School as requested by Sylvan. It just basically gives an overview, just a simplified version. There's a couple areas we're working on. When we get a little bit farther along, we're gonna bring back the committee and go back through that aspect. But there's a few hurdles to work out.
Thank you, Mayor. It's really helpful to have it written down,
Yep.
and I appreciate that.
Anytime, yep.
Yeah.
So, yep, if you need something, so if there's nothing else, if somebody wants on a discussion in the next meeting. Otherwise, we just under an hour, so not as fast as we wanted, but we're almost there. Anybody else? We got a motion to adjourn. Ms. Sullivan, Mr. Scott, all those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.